Is checking out for us today how to kind of organize that a little bit better, and she's out in the field with kind of a homework setup situation. Karina.
We are heading back to school with our good friend Vicki Norris from Restoring Order, and in this back to school, I want to call it a makeover, but it isn't really a makeover.
It's not a traditional makeover, Karina. Actually, every household needs to have a good homework area. And we built one out for this family. When they were moving in, we purposely built out this space for homework stations.
Okay, now you've called it a homework area, and the first thing I notice is this big screen television set.
Well, actually, this is the boys' loft. They're 13 and 14 years old. So, of course, they want to play their Xbox and bring their friends over. They want to crash on these huge bean bags.
Which are so comfortable.
Aren't they great? Yeah, this is just a great teenage boys area. But there's a rule of the household, which is who's ever working on the homework has the rule of the roost. So homework comes first in this area.
Terrific. All right, the other thing I notice is that the computer screen is right out front and center.
Absolutely. We did that for a reason, Karina. Now, when we built out this space, and we actually did design this specifically for these two boys, we could have used any wall in this room, and we toyed with different options, but we chose this wall because the computer then is easily within view when you come to the top of the stairs. And that's so important, I think, for families to supervise the computer use of their children, no matter what age. It's a safety issue, really.
Okay. Well, let's talk about these boys. They're 13 and 14. We have a photo of them.
Yeah.
You can see they look alike.
They're at school.
They're at school right now.
They're at school.
They're individuals, and their desks reflect that.
Absolutely. Now, this is Michael's desk. Michael is the older one. He's 14 years old. And you can see that his desk is totally empty. And the reason for that is this kid hauls every book he owns with him back and forth to school. And I was like that, so I can relate. But that's why he's got such a clear desk right now. And
Okay,
we wanted
could we look inside?
We can look inside his drawers. Now, we want to give him office supplies. And one of the principles that I use for students is give them a mini office, okay? So when you're setting up a desk, whether it's built in or pre-purchased, you want to give them office supplies. You also want to take into consideration their personal interests. He's really into music, so right here is his Walkman, but this is where he puts his iPod as well, because music is important to Michael. And then here, we set up a file drawer for him.
And that was a question I had, because at 14, I don't know what I would have filed.
Well, you might not have had a good Restoring Order filing system.
Exactly.
But what we did here is we gave him an area for all of his school files. So each one of his subjects is in here. So when he completes the work, his paperwork, it can go in here. So he doesn't have to haul back and forth to school all of that paperwork. And then there's some computer stuff. A lot of boys print things out from the internet about how to play their computer games. That goes right here. And then instructions. I love this, Karina.
I love this.
All of their equipment and all of their electronics, which for boys is a lot, comes with instructions. Now he can be responsible for those things. And then, of course, their bank account information and music also goes in their file system. So it's really teaching them age-appropriate skills that they can take on to later in life.
Okay, so that was Michael's desk.
Yeah.
Let's look at his younger brother, Chance.
Okay.
And I love this. We're spying inside his desk.
I know, we're spying. This is Chance's desk. He's 13 years old. And one of the things that's important to Chance is being able to see his hot lunch calendar. So what I recommended is that Mom get a couple bulletin boards for the boys. And these are just the magnet boards. We got a Container Store. And so his hot lunch calendar, so he knows if he wants to buy lunch or not, gets posted. And then, of course, the family calendar gets posted. So each boy can be a part of the family. And I think this is really important because students now get a planner, Karina, from their schools, and it might not be the right thing for your students. So you have to figure out whether a family calendar, an electronic calendar works better, or their planner system, but they have to have a good system.
I like this one, too, because it says what everyone in the family is doing, because the world doesn't revolve around you if you're a teenager.
That's right. Exactly. Thank you. That's what we did, is we really chose to put the family calendar here so that each of the boys, again, we're teaching independence, they're getting older, and they can see what Mom and Dad are doing and what the other boys' football schedule looks like.
Okay, real quick, we got to look in the drawers. Again, some office supplies.
More office supplies for Chance. Now, Chance is an artist. So here we've got all of his art supplies so that he can store them. And again, we've purposed these drawers, Karina. If we don't, you know what students will do. They will open their drawers and they will clear off that desktop into their drawers.
Okay. And the last thing we want to talk about is clutter. I mean, it's so clean right now.
It's the beginning of the school year.
Like this?
I do think it's going to stay like this, Karina, because we've also implemented some habits. They're purging their backpacks, they're purging their binders, and they're purging their desks every week. And mom and dad are modeling order for these boys. So it's a process and it's a habit, and we're teaching them more self-management skills.
Skills to live by. But if you don't have those skills as a parent and you're just looking for a place to start, this is a place to start. Contact Vicki Norris of Restoring Order. We're going to put her phone number on the screen right now, and of course all of her information is on our website at katu.com. Vicki Norris, I love it. We're heading back to school in an organized way.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Nice work.
Well, that is a lofty goal for my family, don't you
Yeah,
think?
you gonna try that?
We can try. I'll check back with you in a year to see if it's that clean.